This is Warm Mineral Springs Park. It's located in Northport, Florida. It's the site of the only warm springs in Florida, and it has the highest concentration of minerals of any spring in the entire country. And it's also famous for being a prehistoric site of ancient skeletons, 10,000 years old they've been dated to. One of them had a part of its brain, the cerebellum, attached to the skull. It's also an area where I believe they found saber-tooth tiger and mastodon and sloth skeletons. But we're going here for the warm mineral spring, and it's supposed to cure any ailment that you have, and hundreds of thousands of people come from all over the world to visit the spring. So come join us on this adventure. And here's the spring. We're here on a weekday, it's not that crowded. And this is a spring run, which goes beneath us and outflowing. And here where the spring run begins, you can see an outcropping of limestone. The grounds around the spring are beautiful. I'm just taking a walk around the spring right now and to dry off, and I have to say that my back does feel a lot better. We'll see if that keeps up, but I don't know if it's my mind, but my back actually is feeling much better. I could barely walk coming to the spring. Now I could do jumping jacks. Water's great, you should come on in. I think I stepped on a skull though. Just kidding. Right, I'm going to take one of these ramps down into the water. I'm expecting 85, 88 degrees. Usually in a spring it's 70. Okay, it feels like it's in the 80s. I'm not sure how deep this is. So it's about waist level. Nice, so it's very relaxing. It's got a sulfur smell to it, and amongst, I don't know how many minerals. I'm going to do some research and tag that onto here. A lot of limestone rocks on the bottom. I'm 6'4", and this goes from waist high to chest high. I almost slipped on a rock. Yeah. So they have some areas that are cordoned off, but it looks like swimming's allowed everywhere. I think that it might be like the deep areas beyond these floating cones. But access to every part of the spring. Pretty close to the middle. Oop. And all of a sudden my back pains are gone. It's a miracle. We'll see. I'll soak in here for a while, and I'll see how I feel later on. But a beautiful day. And definitely a great day for a swim. And one lady's saying the minerals are making her float. I'm going to go to the deep side and test that theory.
She floats. She sinks more, but she floats. You're going to float a lot then.
All right, so I'm going to cross under the rope. A lot of interesting people out here.
What is? Oh, you said a full of hot air? Yeah.
Right, now I'm in the deep end.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
In the eye of the spring. Now, I don't know how deep this middle gets. There's a guy who's a wealth of information here, and he's kind of walking laps. So the next time I see him, I'm going to ask him some questions.
We're going this way. My toes can't touch either. Hey, Mama. What, baby? Watch, I'm swimming like a frog.
Time y'all want to go? It's 12. Że kto to będzie robił to, nie? Że tam. Ja tam może przyciągnę. Tak to żeby raz będzie przyjdzie, tam to będzie dzwonił, to jak tam do końca. Czy jak przyjdzie,
Ibis over here.
As I learned some more information about the spring.
We're not performing.
And in the middle, it is 250 feet deep. It's a drop. I believe it was originally a sinkhole, and in ancient times, people actually went to the bottom of the sinkhole and maybe buried bodies from tribes in this area. And tools and animal bones are down there. But since the Ice Age, I say 10,000 years ago, the spring has filled up. There may have been a crack in the limestone, and now it's filled with very strong mineral water. 50 different minerals they've counted.
77.
77? Okay, so
Yes, sir.
I just got some new information. So 77 different minerals are in this spring. And people come from all over the world. They say that it's second in the world as far as concentration of minerals. Number 1 in America and number 2 in the world. And there's you'll be on YouTube later. So I am going to pole 8, where they say it cures glaucoma. Yeah, there's been multiple cases of people that have witnessed it where people have been cured of glaucoma. They they say it's a high concentration that comes up right at that pole over there. Yeah, so it's pole 8 if it's numbered. So we're gonna go over there. We're gonna open our eyes in the water, and I don't have glaucoma, but it might be a cancellation of the of getting glaucoma. Whoa. Once in a while you slip on a limestone rock, but for the most part it's very sandy, a little bit shelly on the bottom. And a lot of people do laps around this center, just following the poles around. So this is pole 7. Is pole 8 the next one? Is pole 8 the next one? Yeah. This is pole 7. Is that pole 8?
I think that 7 is like from a long time ago.
Okay. All right. So the person who was knowledgeable about. Okay.
The rest of them are like different sizes.
Okay. Someone I spoke to earlier who is familiar with this said that this is the pole 8, the second one over from the lifeguard, and so this would be it. And we're gonna cure a future case of glaucoma here in a moment. It's almost like a lazy river the way people are going around in circles here. And from the pictures that I've seen, I had no idea that was a trend. Okay, we're at pole 8. They also I was also told that there are 3 cool springs and 1 hot spring that mix together in here. And it does feel slightly cooler in this area, so maybe this, but it's hard to tell. So I am going to go under here, and whoa, there's a kind of a ledge here. So I'm going to go back on this side so I don't drop the camera. But I am going to put my eyes in the water and open them up, and see what happens.
И туда сразу банку поставить. И он эти банки ставит.
All right, my eyes are healed. Let's see, I only did it for a few seconds, but a few seconds better than nothing. The spring is not very clear, so to swim with a mask, you're not going to see too far in front of you. Another thing I noticed here is a lot of people have Central European accents. So it's very popular from I mean, I think I've heard German accents and maybe Hungarian and Russian. So it's very popular. And I met a couple of people that have been coming here from New York every year for 20 years. And one of the ladies told me she has never had any health problems. And it could be because of coming here. So very interesting experience. People feel very strongly about this place. They swear by it. Now, another thing is there's a fence around the perimeter, and I found out that was from Hurricane Ian a couple of years ago, and this used to be open grounds, and because of the hurricane, they put the fence around it and around the dilapidated buildings. And so they told me that it's 30% less beautiful than it used to be. All right, we'll continue swimming around. So I should also mention that there are ancient skeletons and artifacts at the bottom of this sinkhole and the 250-foot deep section. Back up until the 1950s, the private ownership here allowed scuba divers to go down and take skeleton pieces and other artifacts and animal bones, and then they would sell them to the public. So that was banned beginning in the 1950s, and they did a scientific research at that point. But anything, there would have been a lot of materials that could have been studied if they had not been stolen. So who knows what else was under there. But one of the more important things was finding the brain with a piece of cerebellum inside the brain. And they were telling me earlier that there was a lot of damage to the hurricane. There used to be a beautiful eucalyptus tree up in this area, and they had to cut it down because of Hurricane Ian. And to get the beneficial health effects, they say to soak for at least 45 minutes in the waters. And I've been in here probably about an hour now, circling around. Say to soak for 45 minutes, and then don't shower for at least an hour. Let the minerals soak into your skin, and to maximize the health benefits. So there's ample seating everywhere around. We got a chair and a lounging chair right up in this section here. I remember it by this view here. My daughter decided to get a suntan rather than spend much time on the water, but I'm still going to try to convince her to come in before we leave. So I'm going to head over to where the spring run begins. And they block off any exit from the spring to walk down the run from with all these limestone blocks. A baby blue heron walking along the shore of the spring. There's some fish feeding in the seaweed sections here. It's a really nice old palm grove. These trees have been here at least 7,500 years maybe. Nice shady area. A reminder not to dig for or take any artifacts from this ancient site. This plaque talks about the original Fountain of Youth. In 1513, during Ponce de Leon's first voyage to Florida, he heard from Indian tribes about this Fountain of Youth. And so on his second voyage, he landed at Charlotte Harbor and was marching inland, apparently to find this spring, where he was ambushed and mortally wounded in a battle with the local Indians. This is one of the historic structures here at the spring that was damaged by a hurricane, I think of 2024, and it has not been renovated yet. I believe it may have been a gift shop. So hopefully they restore this building soon. So if you enjoyed this trip with us to Warm Mineral Springs and enjoyed the healing effects of the mineral-rich water, please click like and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you on our next adventure.